Hi family, and welcome to another Thinking Things Tuesday. And so for today we are doing news as usual. We are looking at current affairs, what's happening, what's taking place, what's making news according to me, Kosachik. So like any other Tuesdays, as you know, today we are also looking through what has been happening in the past few days. We only do the news, current affairs on Tuesdays. So from previous Tuesday till today, we will look at what's happening. Sorry, I'm just a bit disturbed. I thought I'm saying something behind me. So anyway, let's jump right to it. So we are coming today with a bit of sad news. As you all remember, when we started this Thinking Thanks Tuesdays, one of the first news we did was the Zulu royalty. It was the time whereby the Zulu King Goodwill Zwelithini passed on. So that's when we started the story, but I think it's just less than a month after his passing. And the last time we did the news, it was when the Queen Mantombi Dlamini was a successor for 3 months until the son, which is in Florida, to come back and take his rightful place. But today we are bringing sad news that the Queen Madlamini has passed on as well after a short sickness, I believe. So the Zulu royal family is mourning again. So to them we say again, we send our condolences. And without jumping any further conclusions, we are going to look into the story, what is happening in the Zulu royalty concerning the passing on of the Queen, and also now in terms of who is in charge, because this 3 months was not over for the rightful king to take over the kingdom. So now at the present moment, I believe there's a lot of court battles, there's a lot of issues with the will as well, and I think one of the wives as well is also trying to and no, she's not trying, she's also actually fighting for a rightful ownership with the whole wills and estates and so on. So there's a lot going on in the Zulu royalty at the present moment, so we'll have a look at that story. And our next story, which we'll have a look at, as you saw last week we did George Floyd stories. We know that the Giovanni cop has been found guilty of murdering George Floyd, and he's waiting for his sentences. With the sentences will be in June, but then he has been found guilty. And then last week we were celebrating 27 years of freedom in South Africa. We also went through Tokyo Sexwale money, South African Reserve Bank allegations and so on. And also we did do Donta Right as well, the latest, one of the people which was shot down by a policewoman, which the policewoman mistaken a gun for a teaser. So yeah, we haven't really checked what's going on that story. And also we've done Lindani Myeni. The latest with Lindani Myeni's story is they've released the full version of the video 911 call, and I did listen to it. And for me, I think the problem for me is the 911 call when it comes to Lindani Myeni's case, because I'm not really sure what was the lady which was making the calls point of view, because she was hysterical, I understand, but at the same time the way she behaved, it was just too much. The way she behaved over the phone call, when you're listening to the 911 phone call, it's like she was under attack. Like, because when they ask her, do you know the person? The first thing I heard, she did know the person's name, because when she mentioned something about Linda, his name is Linda from South Africa. And then after that, she started becoming hysterical and started crying. But anyway, that's another issue. So we know with Lindani's body is in South Africa, and I think has been buried already. So that's where we are with Lindani. So the next thing is just further investigations, whether legalities are going to take place or not. So that's what we are on Lindani's side of things. So without wasting any time, because today I don't want to make this for too long, we're just going to look at, we are back with the COVID stories as well. As in South Africa, apparently there's a ship which has been docked because it's 17 of its crew's members are COVID affected or infected, and that ship came from India, and yeah, India is the super spreader at the moment, if I must say. Oh, the other news in the entertainment world, Bill Gates is getting a divorce. I don't want to be the lawyer for the divorce. I don't want to imagine. Divorce is already difficult for people which owns almost nothing. Imagine per people which owns billions of rands, how the assets and so on are going to be shared among each other. But well, on the other hand, when it comes to rich people, when it comes to how to divide, how to use lawyers the right way when it comes to sharing of property or dividing of property, they do make use of that. It's not like us, mostly black people, which you die without even leaving a will behind, and those which are left behind are going to fight over the little which you left behind because you didn't specify who's getting what. It's another story. We've got family members which are supposed to be owning houses, but they can't own the houses because the walls are not in their name, and anybody and everybody's just making use of the house because it's a family house. And you can't complain and say, but this is my house, because there was no will left saying specifically that this belongs to you. So when it comes to black people and wills, that's just our curse, and I hope we as the new generation will start make use of the wills and estates offices or help or services. Yeah. Anyway, we are not there yet, because even in the royal family, what is the big one now is the will, and also dividing the estates, and also there's been also talks about the tampering of the will and so on. So let's just look at the news. So we're gonna look what is the latest on the royal family, the Zulu royal family. We know that Lindani Myeni's body is back in South Africa and he's been buried already. So there's nothing much there. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on now. Sometimes my connections, like Motano calls out ends on feeding Zondo Commission lies. Okay, the Zondo Commission is also still on. So yeah, I'm not sure why is this taking long now, because I'm supposed to have the internet. So yeah, there's the Zondo Commission. Everybody wants to clear their names. Concerned about. Oh, it was the 1st of May was also Workers' Day. Yeah, so people were celebrating Workers' Day. Okay, Eyewitness News, not independent online. This complex Starbucks copy orders. Unicom remedies what Ben Affleck reject by modern dating age educated agents have become source of embarrassment, dilemma, risks. Sorry. I'm just looking at a news whereby they're talking about the Chakucha Chief Information Group. they're talking. I can't find anything about the Zulu here, so we'll just have to search. Okay, Zulu royals lash out at Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. Yeah, let's see, because I know there's a lot of politics and Cold War going on in the Zulus reality now. This one is the South African and it's by Thabo Baloyi. It was written 14 hours ago. It says Zulu royals lash out at Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. The siblings of the late Zulu monarch King Goodwill Zwelithini are unhappy with Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi's handling of affairs in the royal household and have called on him to step aside. The late king's sister Princess Thembi Ndlovu and brother Prince Mbonisi Zulu, along with 4 other princes, spoke outside Kangela Palace after Buthelezi, the monarchy's traditional prime minister, allegedly locked them out of a meeting. They have accused Buthelezi of excluding them in key family discussions and creating divisions in the Zulu royal household. This is just a fraction of the drama that has unfolded following the passing of Queen Mantombi Dlamini Zulu, the regent of the Zulu nation, less than a week ago. She was King Zwelithini's senior wife and the sister to Eswatini's King Mswati. Her death has given rise to tensions in the royal household, including a court bid by Queen Sibongile Dlamini Zulu, the late king's first wife, to challenge Queen Mantombi's appointment as regent. She also wants half of the king's estate. See? Buthelezi was never King Zwelithini's prime minister, Princess Thembi. Speaking on Monday, 3 May 2021, Princess Thembi slammed Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, accusing him of being a dictator. We want to meet with the Prince Buthelezi and tell him that he cannot throw us out of our own home because exactly what he is doing is expelling us from our own home and occupying it himself, she said. She further added that Buthelezi was not a legitimate prime minister of the monarchy. His time as Zulu traditional minister ended long ago. The reason why he is still in that position is because we respect him. We are told that he is the traditional prime minister of King Busha, King Cyprian Bek Zulu, the father of King Goodwill Zwelithini. The King Goodwill Zwelithini never had a prime minister, and the next one will appoint his own prime minister, she said in isiZulu. Speaking alongside KwaZulu-Natal Premier Sihle Zikalala on Monday, 3 May 2021 at the Kwakangela Mankengane Royal Palace, Buthelezi bemoaned the ongoing tensions. The eruptions that have taken place have depressed all of us because these sideshows shame the royal family during this time of bereavement, when all of us should be focused on the sadness that is taking place, which is the passing of the regent, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. So remember, as I said when we start, that there's a lot going on in the Zulu royalty, and now it's also contesting the wills, and it's going to court now. So even the traditional prime minister Mangosuthu Buthelezi is on the hot seat because now they want him out because they do not recognize him. So it's just a mess in that house. So hopefully things will come right eventually for the family. So that's all we have when it comes to the Zulu royals. So the next story which we're looking at is the COVID story in South Africa. So as you can see, things are not going well. Let's see, COVID-19. South Africa update. So let's see what we get when it comes to COVID in South Africa. It's so sad when you see those big royal families going down because they just can't make peace and they just can't find common grounds. Really, because now it takes away the dignity of the family because just people want to fight their own issues. It's not cool. My computer today is slowly running until law firms to beg back the money. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm hoping to find something. King's written said and accused Brahman also to Butelez. Remember that's the story we just went through now. Triple SF3 high alert incidents with India. Yeah, this is the story we want because I know the people which recently have been who have what you call it who are infected with the virus now are coming from India. This is also the South African triple threat. SA faces 3 high alert incidents with Indian variant. You see, Tom Head. This is by Tom Head, and it was 6 hours ago. It says, Zweli Mkhize has confirmed that the government is on high alert this week after a number of incidents reported in the past 24 hours raised fears about the arrival of a new coronavirus variant on our shores. The B.1.6617 strain, colloquially termed the Indian variant due to where it was discovered, carries a mutation that may be driving a new deadly wave. Minister Mkhize urges calm over India variant B.1.617. India has been decimated by a rapid spread of new cases, a spike in deaths, and hospitals that are overwhelmed by demand. What is more, the suspected mutation shares the troublesome EK484 protein as seen in the 501Y.V2 strain. The health minister and his colleagues are taking the threat seriously, but there may be a spanner in the works. A number of incidents which have the potential to bring the Indian variant into South Africa have been reported on both Monday and Tuesday. According to Mkhize, scientific advisors are now deciding how to handle possible variants of concerns should genomic sequencing discover if the so-called double mutation is now among us. All our ports of entry employ stringent containment procedures to minimize the importation of COVID-19. The government remained on high alert to screen passengers and test those who require further assessment. Government has consulted members of the Ministerial Advisory Committee to advise on the approach to managing travellers from countries that have variants of concern. The advice will assist us to determine the next steps forward, of which government will announce in due course. India variant latest high alert situations explained. The IPL has been cancelled, bringing Proteas stars back home from India. Those travelling back to South Africa will undergo home quarantine in line with the current World Health Organization recommendations. CSA and the South African Cricketers Association SACA are in contact with all players and are assured of their safety and comfort in their respective locations. The CSA says that it is important the CSA says that it supports the decision. A traveler from India has arrived in South Africa with COVID-19. A traveler from India tested positive for COVID-19 after landing in South Africa this week. The news is particularly significant given that they were able to reach our shores while potentially carrying a virus. The patient is now in an isolated facility in KwaZulu-Natal, and further tests are being carried out on Tuesday. Cargo ship from India docks in Durban with many COVID positives workers. Cargo ship from India docks in Durban with many COVID positive workers. As Times Live reports, an Indian cargo ship that docked in Durban Harbour on Sunday is being quarantined. This follows the death of a crew member on board after 14 workers on the vessel returned positive COVID-19 tests. It's understood that scores of port workers have been on and off the boat before the shutdown, hailing the large shipments of rice. So, as we've done the Zulu families, you hear that they are fighting among each other and there's no peace. And as you've heard in South Africa, we are back on the COVID news again. And this time it's coming from India. And let's see if we can find no room to maneuver as ANC command seals A steps aside. We're supposed to, let's do the ANC step aside quickly because it's supposed to be the end of the month and all those which implicated in corruption and so on were supposed to have stepped down. But ANC is dancing and diving and pussyfooting around the issue. And so this one is Daily Mavericks and it's by Farrell Hafaji. It says no room to maneuver as ANC High Command seals ACE's step aside fate by Farrell Hafaji. It's an hour ago. The governing party's Secretary General Ace Magashule ran out of runway when the ANC National Working Committee NWC decided on Monday, 3 May, that party members who face criminal charges had to step aside. Magashule is the most prominent ANC leader who must step aside, but the decision affects about 30 other party members who also face criminal charges. Magashule tried to stop the party from releasing the media statement which revealed that the party's high command, its National Working Committee, had endorsed the March meeting where Magashule and others were given 30 days to step aside or face suspension. The 30 days are up. ANC's statement on the outcomes of the NWC for May 2021. The media release went ahead despite his protestations. Magashule, backed by his allies including National Executive Committee NEC member Tony Yengeni, fought tooth and nail against the step-aside rule. They argued that many of other NEC members, including President Cyril Ramaphosa, National Chairperson and Cabinet member Gwede Mantashe, Treasurer General Paul Mashatile and other members of the NEC also had allegations of corruption and poor governance hanging over them. The first version of the step-aside rule, which was passed at the party's 54th National Conference at Nasrec, applied to any reports of corruption or actions that brought the ANC into disrepute. Since then, it has been amended to apply only to cadres who face criminal or serious civil charges. Magashule's supporters also argued for the constitutional principle that the accused are innocent until proven guilty. But in the end, the party's integrity principle of stepping aside if you face a criminal charge won the day. The party has an NEC meeting from the 8th till the 10th May, where those who must step aside will could launch a last-ditch attack, but several party leaders say it's unlikely to succeed. Out of 86 NEC members at the March meeting, fewer than 20 supported Magashula's position, a member told Daily Mavericks. The ANC has refined the step-aside guidelines to 4 pages from the lengthy and complex document drawn up by party elder Matthews Post and other lawyers and leaders. It protects the positions and incomes of the members who step aside in case they are found not guilty, or if the case against them do not go ahead, but it also stops them from being able to publicly represent the ANC. It reads, stepping aside means that the participation and conduct of a member, office bearer, or a public representative must be guided by the best interest of the organization. This may include relinquishing, foregoing, or refraining from exercising temporarily or permanently in whole or part his or her rights, duties, and responsibilities as a member, office bearer, or public representative. A member who steps aside may not occupy any executive office, any legislative office, or represent the organization publicly or in any other forum, including speaking in the legislative body that he or she belongs to, or other than being a member. The member may not make public pronouncements on a matter related to the organization and may not engage in the mobilization of ANC structure, any other organizations or individual, including on how he's stepping aside and matters related therefore, says the guidelines. This means Magashula cannot campaign wearing ANC colors once he steps aside or is suspended, but the members who step aside will receive their pay and benefits, and the decision to step aside must be reviewed by the organization every 6 months. We attempt to respect the people's rights and balance this with real public concerns regarding the accusations. The bottom line is, however, that everyone is innocent until proven otherwise, said an NEC member. News 24 reported that Magashule ANC MP Bongani Bongo and KwaZulu-Natal member of the provincial legislature Zandile Komet had said they would either not step down or take the step-aside decision to court. If they do not step aside this weekend, they will be suspended. Magashule will be suspended by his deputy Jesse Jowete, as he cannot suspend himself. The rule says that the Secretary General or Provincial Secretary will invoke Rule 225.7 of the ANC Constitution, which is the suspension if charged clause in the party's constitution. It reads, where a public representative, office bearer, or member has been indicated to appear in a court of law on any charge, the Secretary General or Provincial Secretary is satisfied that the temporary suspension of such public representative, officer bearer, or member will be in the best interest of the organization, may suspend such public representative, elected office bearer, or member, and impose terms and conditions to regulate their participation and conduct during their suspension. If Magashule or any of the other party members facing charges do not accede to the rule, they will face a disciplinary hearing. The disciplinary committee is chaired by NEC member and former Labour Minister Mildred Oliphant. Daily Mavericks. That was what we got from Daily Mavericks for the ANC. So today we did the Zulu Royals again, how they are fighting in the passing on of Madlamini. And then We did the COVID-19, which we've got a new variant now from India, and there's a ship which has been docked, and also a person which is in quarantine, KwaZulu Natal. Then they're all coming from India, so we might have a new COVID among our midst. And then we did the ANC now. ANC stepping aside rules. So Mahashule and the gang are still holding on. They're still holding on to the last kick of a dying horse. We don't know. We're not sure. So I think for today that's all we can do, and we're not gonna do the Ndindani Myeni today because let's just give it a rest and just concentrate on these ones. I don't want to make the video too long as usual. So today we're doing the Zulu Royals, we did the COVID-19 India, we did the ANC, and yeah, Bill Gates divorcing. Let's just see if we can find something quickly with Bill Gates. I think that's what is happening in the news. So nothing much. I'm trying to check my time because I did try to time myself not to be too long. Let's just go here. Let's see. Bill Gates divorce. Divorce settlement. That's all I want to know. Yeah, news about Bill Gates divorce settlement. Let's see. It's the last one. A divorce settlement remains to be seen, but here's a breakdown of Bill Gates' wealth. Let's see. I think this is CNBC. This is from CNBC. It says that Bill and Melinda Gates just announced their divorce. Here's a breakdown of their billionaire's wealth. Oh wow. Bill Gates, co-founder and former CEO of Microsoft, and his wife Melinda French Gates announced on Monday that they plan to divorce after 27 years of marriage. After a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage, the two said in a post on Twitter. We have raised 3 incredible children and built a foundation that works all over the world to enable all people to lead healthy, productive lives. Of course, Bill Gates is one of the world's richest billionaires. WealthX, a global high net worth intelligence and data company, estimates his net worth to be at least $134.1 billion. Though his success began with Microsoft, his shares in the company now only represent 19.6% of his wealth, which WealthX estimates to be valued at $26.1 billion. Much of his money is now tied to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, but the exact amount hasn't been disclosed. The Gates, with Warren Buffett, also found the Giving Pledge, which asked billionaires to give away more than half of their wealth to philanthropy. Because of the foundation, the division of assets between Bill and Melinda may be much more complicated. Court documents show that they have a separation agreement, but terms have not been made public. But what are they working with? Here's a breakdown of Bill Gates' wealth according to WealthX Real Estate. Gates has a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio worth over $166 million in total. WealthX found, which include his 66 square foot lakeside home in Medina, Washington, The estimated value of his stake in the property is $65 million. Gates also owns a roughly 30-acre estate in Wellington, Florida, with an estimated value of $55 million. In California, Gates owns 2 additional properties. In Delmar, he owns a stake in a property valued at an estimated $20 million. And in India, Wales, he owns a property valued at $1 million. Gates also has private island in Belize called Grand Bouquet, which WealthX estimates to be worth $25 million. Cars and art. Gates' collection of sports cars is worth an estimated $650,000. According to WealthX, which includes a Porsche 911, a Jaguar XJ6, a Porsche Carrera Cabriolet 964, a 1988 Porsche 959 Coupe, and a Ferrari 348. He also has an extensive art collection worth an estimated $130 million, with works by Leonardo da Vinci, Andrew Wyeth, and Winslow Homer. Private holdings and common stock. Gates' biggest asset is holding company Cascade Investment, which he founded with Microsoft stock sales and dividends. His stake in Cascade Investment is valued at about $29.9 billion, according to WealthX, and accounts for 22.4% of his wealth. Through Cascade Investment, Gates has shareholdings worth billions of dollars, including an estimated $11.9 billion in Dairy and Company, $11 billion in Canadian National Railway, and $1.6 billion in Diageo, to name a few of the many. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Trust also reportedly owns stocks through Cascade Investment. Of course, Gates also has Microsoft shareholdings, which are valued at estimated $26.1 billion. Philanthropy. Over the years, the Gates have given billions of dollars to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. In a 2019 blog post, Gates wrote that the two moved $20 billion worth of Microsoft stock to the foundation, and today it has more than $51 billion in assets. According to a tax filing, as NCBC reported. All the rest, the estimated value of Gates' proceeds from previous salaries, bonuses, investments, dividends, and stock transactions is about $19 billion, according to WealthX. Check out Meet the Middle-Aged Millennial Homeowner. So that's what we've got from Bill Gates. So imagine all that paperwork, all that which needs to be divided. So that's what we have today. We've got the divorce of the rich man, one of the world's richest men. So if rich people can divorce, who are we? Who are we? I'm joking, my people. We don't know what rich people go through. Maybe it's just they're just going to nice life problems. We don't know. So for today, I think that's all for Tuesday Thinking Takes Mania Current Affairs. So hope you all are having a wonderful evening. As usual, we're working at night, and to editing and trying to get this video online. Thank you very much, family, for the support, and I really appreciate for all those which keep on coming back and watch the videos I make and press a like or do some sharing. I really appreciate all of those. Thank you. So for today, thank you again. Hope to see you next week. Bye.